everyone. Welcome to the Zone to Speak podcast. I'm your host, Juliana. Hi, everyone. At Zone to Speak, I know how important it is to stay healthy, strong, and ready for every ride, workout, and adventure. That's why I have got exclusive discounts on some of my favorite products designed specifically for athletes like you. Cyclist. Their smart pump is a game changer, compact, efficient, reliable, and perfect for keeping your tires road and gravel ready. Plus, they have radar tail lights, smart trainers, smart fans, and more. Get 10% off the smart pump and 5% off everything else. 35% off Frey Skincare. Skincare made for athletes, designed for skin that sweats. Their all-natural, vegan, and cruelty-free products keep your skin protected and fresh. I have been using Frey for years and I love it. 10% off Cold Age. Premium vitamins and supplements to fuel your body, speed up recovery, and help you ride longer. I personally take the Women's Fermented Vitamin and Creatine, both powder and capsules. 10% Clearly Not Coffee, the ultimate coffee alternative made from functional ingredients to fuel your focus and energy without the caffeine crash. Try it out. 15% off Omri supplements. Whether you are training, recovering, or pushing for peak performance, their high-quality supplements have you covered. And there's something special from me, your host. As a certified integrative health nutrition expert and holistic life coach, I am thrilled to offer all my listeners 25% off personalized nutrition and life coaching with Genki Wellness. If you want to optimize your health or simply feel your best, head to bemoregenki.com and use the code ZONE2SPEAK. For all the discounts, check the episode description for the links and use Zone2Speak code at checkout. And let these amazing products support your health and performance. Now, let's get into the episode. Here we go. Welcome back to Zone to Speak, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of cycling. Today, I am honored to welcome Florence Nakagawa, Uganda's first professional female road cyclist, a rising star in the sport. Florence's journey is nothing short of extraordinary, from cycling 50 kilometers daily to deliver food to her grandparents during the pandemic, to becoming the 2023 Uganda National Road Champion, and signing with Canyon Sram Generation, a major milestone for African women in cycling. But Florence's story is about more than just racing. It's about resilience, opportunity, and the realities of being a female cyclist from Africa. From battling for recognition in a male-dominated sport to facing challenges like visa issues and limited opportunities, Florence has overcome immense obstacles to get where she is today. In this episode, we will talk about her racing career, her experiences in international competitions, and the political, social, and financial barriers African riders face in professional cycling. We will also explore gender inequality in cycling, how she stays motivated, and her vision for the future of women's cycling in Uganda and beyond. This is a conversation you do not want to miss. I'm just beyond happy to see where you are today, because I met you in Kenya. I think it was 2022 before you boomed, and to see you now in a world tour team, it really brings me a big smile, because I know it's not an easy journey as a female cyclist, and I want to ask you more questions because I think it's even harder for a female African cyclist to break so many barriers to be where you are today.
Yeah, indeed, because it's like coming all the way from Africa to Europe is all hectic because first of all, it's really challenging to get to Europe as an African, and considering cycling within Africa on the ladies' side, it's totally difficult. Because even for the most especially in my country, first they were not into the women in cycling, and I just had to believe and go through all the barriers by myself, just believing in what I wanted to do, and then with the home local club that helped me out, it's been quite hard
I'm
because
sure.
even after receiving the news of joining the Canyon Sram Racing Generation team, it was quite emotional because I was surprised and I was like, things were happening too quick for me because I just started cycling in 2020, but
Yeah.
in that year I was just doing the fun riding. And then coming to 2021, I decided to start doing some serious preparations for cycling. And then coming to 2022, I just got an East African pro gravel racing team, and they were offering me a contract for that year. And I was like, oh, this is too quick because it was just one. It was actually just only 1 year of cycling.
Amazing.
And
And I just want to take one step back because listeners need to know, like, you started cycling during the pandemic to deliver food to your grandparents that were 50 kilometers away from your home.
yeah,
And then you started the journey to competitive cycling. But take us a little bit to your home environment. Like, how was like this journey of riding 50 kilometers to deliver food to your grandparents and then back home? And then I guess after the pandemic, like you just said, you started to have this drive to do some competitive events.
yeah. Because within that period, it's like all the means of transport was stopped, and the only transport mean that was available was using the bike, and most of the people were on the bikes. And in the community, they will always used to say that girls are not allowed to do the sporting activities. And within that period, I was already doing soccer, and through my education, I was being sponsored just because of playing football. And I was like, if people change via the football side, that means if I also decide to start cycling, they will start also to change and believe in it. Because they used to say that the sporting activities are just for men, and girls were always just put aside. And I always used to wonder, and it always kept on tickling my mind and wondering why, because we are all human, and I believe that we all have different capacities and abilities. So I was like, if I could do the 50-kilometer delivery to my grandpa's place and gauging on the distances that cyclists do during their practices, it's kind of similar, no difference. And I used to see dad doing competitions and my brothers, and I used to admire them because for them they were doing what they want, and me, I was always having no chance to do what I wanted. Because ever since I was a child, I loved cycling. Because most of the kids back home always watch different games, and me, I used to watch just cycling videos always.
Wow, you're ready. You want it since the young age.
Yeah, because I used to watch dad coming back home with trophies, prizes. I was always like, I would like to get such things one day. And then dad was always like, but how will you do it? Because you're not allowed to. And then I was like, just wait. One day, one time, I will make people believe. And then during the COVID pandemic, when I started delivering foods and medicines to my grandpa, I brought the suggestion to dad. And I was like, if I can ride to my grandpa's place at ease, then that means I can also start cycling like in a competitive way. And I see this is my passion because however much I do football, but still my passion is with cycling. So that was like, I have no problem with you so long as your mom supports you and you also love what you're doing. There is no problem. Then we'll just have to see how the community goes around with it. So I was like, however much the community is against me, I don't care so long as I have my family support. And
Amazing. I'm so happy your family supported you because of course for you as a cyclist and as a individual, but your journey is breaking political social barriers. You're a huge catalytic change for girls in your community and in Africa.
yeah, that's it. Because I was always like, whenever I try to go for the training rides, at first I used to go alone, whereas I also waited for my brothers and either dad to give me some training sessions so that I can get to know what goes around within the cycling community. And always people kept on saying discouraging words, but the only way I could fight back to them was to keep silent, because I knew silence is the best way. And always ignoring their words and kept on doing what I loved. Most of them started realizing, because wherever they say something, I could not reply to them, and I just kept focusing, because it was just within a few weeks of training with dad and my brothers. There was a local race, and some other female who wanted to participate. And it was my first race, and I just wondered what I would do there, because I didn't have enough experience accordingly. And it was like I just decided to go for it, just minding about what dad has been telling me to do during
All
the
heart.
training
Sometimes
ride.
it's not. Yeah. It's all
Yeah,
heart. It's sometimes you don't, you can have all the training, but if you don't have the heart and you went with all your heart.
yeah. So I was like, I just had an instinct that I will probably win because I had some trainings from dad, and then I was like, I just had to give it a go, and I actually won the race. And
Wow.
then after overcoming to 3 months of training, there was a race that was organized in our capital city. It's quite far away from where I live, because it's 136 kilometers away to the city. So I told dad I want to participate. However much there are gonna be some other experienced riders, I want to try my level best with them. Though it's gonna be my first time to be in a big race. Dad was like, I'm going to pay for your entry, and all you have to do is just keep yourself in the peloton. And then
Who
I
was
was
going to pay
like,
for your entry?
my dad.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm so happy he was so supportive.
So I just told him, trust me, I won't turn you down. So when I reached at the race and looking at my competitors, one at the other side, I was afraid and nervous. And then at the other side, I remembered daddy's payment for the entry. So I was always like, whenever I was having a negative side, I also had a positive side, because I always had something that could keep me in focus. And within the race, all I did was keeping myself in the peloton doing no work. And then in the last 10 kilometers, I decided to check if there will be anyone strong enough to go with me if I make any move. And then all I got there was that I got a group of some 5 ladies following, and then I knew it means they're strong enough. So I was like, then we can go work together, and then at the end we'll just fight for the finishing line. And within the sprint, I surprisingly finished third in my first big event.
Amazing. Look at you. You just not just the strength, but also the strategy of like, I'm gonna keep my pace on the peloton. Like that's a lot of awareness to, have this check in with yourself at 10 kilometers to the finish line. Amazing. That's like
Yeah,
major instinct.
it was always like, what helped me was always like, I knew doing the cycling sport is a bit hard, and there are always some aspects to go within this sport. So I always kept myself doing researches, watching different races, women's races, and seeing how they do it within the peloton. So I always try to
So
use the information that I get from the internet, and then adding on
oh,
my daddy's practice.
nice. And you were your brothers at the Masaka Cycling Club as well?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. And you joined Masaka Cycling Club. Is that when you won the 2023 Uganda National Road Championship?
yeah, I
Okay.
did. Because it was always like I wanted some people who could nurture me through the cycling journey, and coming with the club, they were open and welcoming any cyclist because they are looking for Rotarians, and I also wanted to join. So, however much they were mostly boys within the club, I
Yeah.
knew they can also still look out for the girls. So, and all I wished was what they were doing. So I got to have some practices, go for rides with the boys, however much they were stronger than me, but at least within the start I could be determined and have a goal, set a goal for the day, and I could not allow them to drop me before the kilometer mark that I had into my mind. I
Very
could always
nice.
say if it's 100-kilometer ride, at least I have to stick with them for around either 50 kilometers, and then the, even if they leave, at least I've reached to my goal. So
Amazing. And
indeed.
how has your training changed now that you are at Canyon Sram Generation professional team?
So before in Africa, most of the times you go for the trainings, but they are not that programmed,
Yeah.
and you just ride anyhowly. But right now, I at least have I set some goals, and then according to the goals, the coach provides me the training programs, and always they are under the plan, and they set different goals, and it's always set according to the power and the time that I have to ride for. Cause previously I used to go for either I could say that now I'm going to just do 50 kilometers, and it doesn't matter if I do them in 2 hours or 3 hours. But as for now, most of the times I have programs whereby I have to do different intervals in different sets, and within the intervals they're always put under specific time. So if I'm to do something like 4 hours with intervals, most of the times I go for them, but still also have I set a goal for the distance that I want to cover within that period of time. And always every day I try my best to be the better version of me that I was yesterday. and always keeps me going. So what I do today sets my focus for the next day.
Incredible. Incredible. Your drive is amazing. Um, Tell me how it is to how was being signed by Canyon Sram Generation, and how has been your journey moving from Africa to Europe? Like, of course, it's extremes worlds. Uh, how has your experience been so far?
Yeah, actually, at first, the first time that I got to into connection with the Canyon Sram Generation team, it was the time that I knew that I'm going to participate in the World Championships in Glasgow. I got to chat with the Canyon Sram Racing Generation team director via Instagram, and he used to send me messages wanting to know about my trainings and the way I do it, the way how cycling is taking me within Uganda. And then the last thing he told me in Instagram was that he may be in term of offering me an opportunity to join their generation team. And then at first I didn't believe it because
It was through
counting the years,
Instagram.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it was like first I didn't believe it, and at the other side I had some belief within myself because I knew I was trying my best and progressing, but it was just all everything was happening within a short period of time, and I saw things were going on too quick for me, and I was like, in the other side I said it might be a scam.
Yeah. Yeah. Because through Instagram too, you're like, okay, is this real? And it's crazy. Yeah. Because you started cycling through the pandemic, and then you started doing some gravel, some road cycling 2022, 2023, or Uganda National Road Cyclist Champion. And then 2024, you are at Canyon Sram.
Yeah,
Two
so
years, 2 years to go to a professional world tour team. It's amazing.
it was all, and then all I asked him, is this real? Then he was like, yeah, why not? And then the time I got to Glasgow, he sent me a text asking me if I'm already there, and I told him that I'm already within the area, and he told me he's also gonna be there, and maybe we can meet in person. And then I was like, maybe this is real. I started believing, and then everything was going on, but my the patron from my Sky Cycling Club didn't know anything. So I was like, it seems like I'm doing things out of control. And I was like, maybe I need someone who can be there for me. And all I knew, if you have people taking you, you all have to go through the protocol. So I sat down and explained everything to him, because within that time I had signed also a contract with them, with the club. It was for that year, so they were having control over me because they were my bosses within that time. So I had to tell them everything that was going on, and for things to be clear. And all he said was that that's the thing that he always wished for me. And I was happy to hear about it, and he was also surprised for me to tell him about everything that was going on, because he never thought that I can do that. Because most of the times if people reach out to something, they don't tend to tell their bosses or inform anyone, they just go. So he was surprised, and he was like, everything is okay, and he was okay with everything going on. And I asked him to be around with me as I went to meet the director. And when I reached there, he just explained everything, the way they handle everything within the team, and he offered me the contract. And
Congratulations.
I signed the contract from that time. And all I wanted was like, then after signing the contract, the next step was looking for the visa. And
I heard that was a
it's
big challenge.
it's a big thing for the Africans to work out on. The visa is a bit hard to get. More so, it depends on the country where you want to go and which visa you have to get.
Yeah.
So I made my first visa application attempt through the German embassy,
Okay.
but all that was way too hard for me because I actually made almost 2 attempts, and with each attempt I had to pay, because wherever you pay for the visa and you're denied the visa, the fee is not returned.
Yeah.
So
Does the team help you at all
it
financially?
it was like financially, with before the end of 2023, I had applied for a Strava grant application and it went through successfully. So I was using the money from the Strava grant,
Okay. Good.
because still I didn't know about it, but the team director from Canyon Sram Racing Generation is the one who gave me a go on it, and he sent me the link, and he was 100% sure that it can help me around within the visa thing and anything that I want to do within cycling. So I got the money, and I always had to have the accountability for the money and see that it's enough for whatever I had to do within that period. And it was like it came to over half of a year before joining the team, and I had not yet got the visa course. I made 2 attempts and they were all denied, and I had already used a lot of money for it. And then one day I just had to sit down, have a call with the director, and asked him if there is any possible way that we can use for me to get to Europe, because I really wanted to use this opportunity, and I saw it's my
Of
opportunity and it's my
course.
chance. I had to come to Europe so that I can showcase my talent, and I was seeing it's almost half of a year and I haven't got to Europe, and I wondered if the year ends and I've not yet got to the team, if I will still have that opportunity or chance to join the team for the next year. But all I had to do was keeping proper communication with the team management and also informed them about whatever was going on. And after we decided with the team director for me to go through the Slovakian embassy, apply for a temporary residence permit, because automatically if you apply for a temporary residence permit, that means you will have to, if it's approved, though it also takes time, after approval, then they'll also schedule for you an appointment for the visa, and
Okay.
automatically you will have the visa to Europe. So that's what I went through, and it was almost at the end of the year in 2024, because I got the visa in early start of December, and I didn't have any thought in my mind, and I was ready for whatever comes, because it was like in my mind I always thought of, what if the visa comes out and I'm not yet ready, but they tell me to fly to Europe at that very moment. And I always try to figure out things on my own sometimes. And
You are so brave, so brave. I'm such a awe of you. Your cycling skills, your bravery in life. I mean, it's not anyone that, a lot of people just dream, and you seized every opportunity. And how was it to like land in Europe, and where are you living now, and how are you adapting? How is everything?
it was like first I had to, because after getting the visa, it was like they called me. I applied the visa through Nairobi. It's a different city and different country.
Yeah.
It's in Kenya.
Yeah.
So I, the moment I traveled there, I went with just only a backpack with within the backpack I had my cycling shoes and one kit plus two pair of clothing within the bag and some travel documents within the backpack, because I was having an intent that they might tell me to travel to Europe the moment I pick up the visa, and it's
Wow.
what happened.
Wow.
So
Wow.
all I did was calling back home and informed mom and dad that I'm not coming back home. I'm just going straight to Europe.
Wow.
And, and then they were like, how is this possible? Do you have anything with you? And you're just going, but you don't know anyone there and you're on your own. Then I was like, I'm going to do it the same way I've been doing it, because I've ever been to South Africa by my own, going to the UCI training center for almost 3 times in South Africa. I went to Namibia, whatever I've been traveling to alone. So I was like, just trust me, I got this. And after picking the visa, I talked to the director. He booked for me the flights, and I had to do everything from there to Europe, just in touch with them and informing them wherever I reached. Because from there, I had to fly to through German, was it to Frankfurt, and then I had to go to Portugal because the team was having a training camp there.
How fun.
And
Portugal is beautiful.
yeah, and reaching there, it was quite emotional because I got to meet people that I used to watch just in the
Wow.
cycling clips on YouTube, and I wish to meet them in person. And for that moment, the people I used to watch on YouTube were in front of me physically,
And your
and
teammates now.
and they are my teammates. So I, I was like, it was like a dream coming true,
100%. Yeah, it's
because
a
I
pinch
knew
me
from
moment. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like first, by the I was quite shy for the first time.
Yeah.
For the first time, I was quite shy, and because I was meeting new people, and I didn't know how everyone goes around within the community. So I was like, I had to get some time to study and learn the environment
Yeah.
and get used to the people, because I knew this is a different environment from away from home, because Africa is different from Europe. And I wondered how I'll go around with the trainings and the altitude. So it was, everything was quite different. But in all, I was expecting the best, and all I expected is, I would say, is what I'm getting already. Because I found them friendly, and I was happy about that, because I was worrying about the way how I'll be within around them, and they were, right now I'll say that I'm with another family. I got a new family, and I take them as my family. I see all my teammates are now my family because they all new and they are friendly, so they are open within everything,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is running smoothly. So, because
Wonderful.
moving from Portugal, the team is based in Girona.
Are you in Girona?
Yeah.
I am in Girona.
Really?
Yeah, we need to meet. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Yeah, I see some of the Canyon girls here, so we have to make sure I join you for a zone one ride.
It's one because it's like really last time when I sent you a message and you told me that you're boarding to Spain, I was like, I wanted to also tell you that I'm in Spain and I forgot. So I was like wondering, maybe you never know, you might come to Spain, but in the same place with me. So I was like, I'm surprised if you're in Girona.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm right in Barrivel, so we gotta meet for sure. Reunion from Kenya.
Sure. Maybe I'll
And
I'll have to send you the pin location.
yes, yes, let's do that. And do
Yeah,
you
'cause
have your schedule for 2025 as
it's
the races?
yeah, for now I have it because the team director sent it for me, but it's still starting so soon because I'm hoping to go back home within this month because I have a tour in Namibia, a women's tour race that I have to go for, and I have to go with the national team because I have to participate for the national, and they they already registered, and I will have, I guess, within the next couple of few days I will have to fly back to Uganda and do the rest. Then after I will come back to start the season.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun and probably emotional as well to be back home and your old teammates. You probably have a
Yeah,
lot of new stuff to share with them.
actually, I just want to surprise them because they are not expecting me soon. Because
Hmm.
it and the thing is that when I go to call mom, she was surprised to hear, and she was like, even if it's seeing me just for one day, that could be enough for her. Because it was my first time spending the Christmas holidays without the
Oh,
family and entering the new year without the family. So it was the first time, and she was like, even if it's a single day, it's enough for her. And then I was like,
I'm sure she'll be so
expect me,
happy.
expect me soon. And she's always like checking if it's still into plan for me to go back ever since I told her.
That would be amazing. So on your 2025 schedule for the races this year, are there any of the big tours that you dreamed of and watched growing up? Are you participating in any of those races and any dreams of participating in the Tour de Femmes?
Actually, it's like first I wanted to have a go within the Spanish races, and looking on the first race that I had a glance on was the Spanish Cup,
Okay.
and it's already on the calendar. And then there are some other races in Italy,
Wow.
so I just want to see what comes around because I know it's like the races this side are more competitive than in Uganda, and the peloton is always big, and I just want to see how my first race will go around because I've already had a chance to participate within the field of over 200 participants, and it was mind-blowing for me. And I was quite nervous because it was my first time, and that was in the World Championships. So everything is a surprise for me.
And are you mainly doing road or are you also doing some gravel races?
Mainly for now, I'm on the road.
Okay.
And
And going through this experience from Uganda to Girona in being in a world tour team, what do you think it needs to change to create more opportunities for African cyclists, especially females?
it's like for now, I'm still in the generation team. Yeah, for now, I'm still in the generation team.
Yeah, yeah,
But I all I wished for, cause it's like talking about cycling back in Uganda. It's a sport that people don't give too much attention, and if you're taking cycling as your career and you live in Uganda, it's much better you get to somewhere where they value cycling much more. And all I wished for whenever I watched races, I hope to, like, first, because I know getting to where I dream of being is that it has to go through steps. And all I wish for was getting a continental team to nurture me through the steps. And coming to Canyon Sram Racing Generation team, I hoped and believed that I'll get the best out of me through the team, because they have a good environment and they kind of provide everything in a good environment for a cyclist. And hoping with the things that I receive and the coaches I'm having, I saw already, because trainings here are different, because there and I loved it, because it's like Uganda is a flat country mostly, and looking at the races that I always watched, they're always mixed and they're always climbs, so I'm not gonna expect flat races. And all I decided to do was that the trainings that I have to do, because home I was always doing the flats and try to go for camps in some areas that are hilly. But if it comes to Spain, where I live mostly here in Girona, the routes that I take, I prefer taking much more of the hilly courses, because I used to say, if you're to achieve a goal, eh, it's like use your enemy as your target. So I always go for climbs more than flats, because all I know is that the thing I want to work on is my climbing abilities. So to unlock them, I have to go for the climbs mostly.
you
So
are so driven. I love it. And it's so true. You know, you gotta make your, how did you say, your enemies, you know, you gotta target that. You just gotta target that. And I'm sure you're doing a great job at it. And I can't wait to see what's next for you. But you said, you know, Uganda is flat, which is so funny because you're neighbors with Rwanda, which is the country of a thousand hills. How does
yeah,
that
it's
happen?
like we are just in between. I
Hmm.
could say we are in between. Kenya is having much of the hills, and then if it comes to Rwanda, is mostly hilly.
Yeah.
And then if I'm to do the trainings, because mostly in the place where I could call it the province where I live is mostly flat. So if I'm to do some trainings and I'm preparing for a specific event, I will have to look for an area that is much of the hills. So sometimes there is another province that is close to because we share a border with Rwanda. So I always go and camp close to the border with Rwanda, because from there I can get some hills. And then sometimes I go to Kenya, all close to the border with Kenya.
Nice, nice. Yeah. I've been to Rwanda and you only go up or down there. I don't think they have flat areas at all.
No. Maybe maybe within the city then you can find some flat, but not too flat again.
Yeah, no, no.
You
Uh,
only go up and down.
yeah, yeah. And do you see yourself as a role model for future generations of female cyclists in Uganda?
Yeah, indeed. Cause and as for now, I'll say that I'm proud of myself and
You
I'm
should be.
already an inspiration to cyclists in Uganda. And what is much more making me much happier is that I'm not a role model to just only the girls, but also boys.
That's true. Look at you achieved. I think not only are the first Uganda female rider to cross, do this big jump to the European team, but I think you're just the first cyclist, period, not just female, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure. And it's like already back in the home club, I already inspired some other girls to join cycling, and now they looking back to the community. It's now trying to adapt with the situation, and they are now starting to provide a good environment for the girls in cycling, and starting to trust their children in cycling. And if by now there are more than 15 girls within the home club doing the cycling,
Amazing.
and already one of them is already also taking part in the UCI development program.
Wow. Amazing.
So
So yeah, I think not only you inspire kids and young adults, but I think you also have been a catalyst for change in the federations there or any cycling team, the training centers, because now they are more open to having female cyclists and younger cyclists to develop them, because you brought so much hope that this actually can happen.
yeah, actually I'm happy about the changes that are going on, because before girls were not being cared of, and even organizing events within Uganda, they always mostly organize the events for boys. And seeing that I'm getting more competitive, I always try to interfere. I'll call it interfere with their programs,
Yeah,
because it always hurted me seeing the cycling calendar for the year and looking at it. The most races are for the men, and looking for the women, I could not see anything of that sort. And I had to always look for the people making the calendar within the federation and try to speak to some people coming from the federation to have some changes, because I saw we should also be care of, and things are now changing, so I'm more happy.
absolutely. And congratulations. I mean, I am so happy to see you doing what you love. You definitely worked hard to be where you are. And it is amazing how much positive change you have brought to your country and to many little girls and boys' lives. Amazing.
Thank you.
Florence, it's been so great to talk to you. I am so happy to have you on the podcast. I'm even happier to know that you are right here in Girona, and hopefully we can see each other more often.
Yeah, see you soon.
Florence, your story is incredibly inspiring, not just for cyclists, but for anyone chasing their dreams against the odds. Thank you for sharing your journey. To all our listeners, make sure to follow Florence and support her incredible career. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow cyclists. And that's all for today's episode. I want to thank the listeners for tuning in. Your support means everything. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends.